the idea that I had in my head of what God's thoughts were about me were just so screwed up for the longest time. I had been taught this very religious God, who was extremely strict and demanding, and was merciful to a point and was gracious to a point. And if you cross a line and you met that point, that was it. And so I thought that, while I was struggling when I was younger, and, I was making, extremely crazy, ridiculous decisions, and I was having just completely like manic periods of life. I loved Jesus, but I didn't know how to change all of these things that I had wrong with me. And they weren't instant and overnight for me. And because of that, I thought that, time was running out. He was getting impatient with me, and I needed to shape up or ship out. I thought I had a God that was breathing down my neck, that was watching me and watching every mistake I made and thinking to himself, I've about had it with this one. If she keeps it up a little bit longer, I haven't left her yet, but I'm this close. So my whole mindset was constantly inundated with these thoughts and ideas of how awful I felt because I knew he thought those awful things about me. Even on my best day, I still felt awful because it wasn't ever good enough. It wasn't ever what he deserves. It wasn't ever anything that was worthy of anything from him. And it took a really long time for him, in his gentleness and in his goodness, to lead me out of this kind of psychological religious trauma. And he led me to a place where I was able to see his pure love and goodness towards me. I learned that love that he speaks of in Corinthians, how love is patient and love is kind, that he's speaking about his love towards us, that God is patient, God is kind. He does not boast, he is not proud, he does not hold a record of wrongs. He believes all things, hopes all things. God never fails. And his love will never fail us, ever, regardless of how far we feel like we've fallen from him. God is love, and he who abides in love abides in God. And the way we start that, the way we know that, is by understanding his love for us.